Building a Tenor Guitar Part 10 at randallprice.com. In my last video, I showed you how I bent the sides of the guitar, and the sides have since dried. I removed the spreader clamps from the form, and you can see the sides have retained their shape. And what I need to do next is to trim these sides to length. I purposely cut the sides long so they extended more than halfway around the form. You can see here's the center line, so roughly I need to cut both sides off so they correspond with the center of this form, both at the neck end and at the tail end. And I want them to just meet right at the center line, and then after I do that, I'll be gluing this heel block at this end and the tail block at that end. So next, I'll make a pencil mark right at the center, and I'll do the same here at the back. What I'll do is take these out of the form now, take a square and make a square line on that side in preparation of cutting it. So I just have this little back saw. I have my side clamped down here to the bench with a piece of wood to use as a guide for the cut, so I'll just carefully trim that to length. And I'll do the same for the tail end. Everything's looking good. Next I'll prepare to glue the heel and the tail blocks in. This is the heel block that goes at the neck, and this block will have a mortise cut into it. The neck itself will have a tenon, and the tenon will fit into this block, and the mortise and tenon joint will not be glued together, it will be bolted together. And this is a very valid and accepted practice in guitar building. And what I'll use to bolt it is a cross nut and bolt similar to this. This isn't the exact one I'll use, this one's too long, but it kind of gives you the general idea. I'll drill 2 holes through the end block. The tenon of the neck will have a hole drilled crossways. This nut and a hole through it long ways. This nut will slide into the tenon, and the tenon will fit into the mortise joint, and then that will bolt the two together like that. So before I glue this block in, I want to drill the holes for those 2 bolts, and then I'll also countersink those holes for the heads of the bolts to fit into. So I'll set up to do that next. I pulled out my blueprint, and here's kind of a cross-sectional view of that bolt and that barrel nut, and here is the heel block, and that is the tenon of the neck. So what I need to do is just measure the center, or measure the distances of that bolt from the edge of the heel block, and then I'll just draw a line on the center line of the block and drill those holes. I drilled the hole, and I drilled it just so that brad point bit just pierced through that side, and I did that so I could turn it over on this side and using a Forstner bit drill my hole to countersink that bolt head. So I'll go ahead and drill this second hole, flip it over, and drill my holes to countersink the bolt. My lighting wasn't too good there, so I moved the light around. So there's my bolt holes, and you can see where that brad point bit just pierced through the surface of the back. Okay, I've set my drill press to cut an 1/8 inch deep hole, and I'll just get this lined up. Okay, so there's those recesses, and that's how the bolt will sit in there. Okay, at the tail end, what I've done is to wrap some masking tape around the two sides and pull it tight so the tape is holding the two sides together, butting them up together real well, so I don't have to worry about that. And if you remember, I sanded a convex profile onto this tail block that conforms with the profile of the guitar form, so that when I glue this block in, it will also conform to that profile. Here's the heel block. If you remember, I said I'd cut my sides too short so they don't meet here at the heel, and as I said, I kind of lucked out. That won't really matter because I do have to cut a mortise in here, and then the heel of the guitar will fit into that mortise, and it'll also extend all the way to the base of the guitar, so most of this gap will be cut away for the mortise, and what little bit is not will be covered by the heel. One other thing that I've been considering is whether to put a dome or an arch on the top of the guitar. I got some advice from a professional luthier, and his advice for me was on this first build to go ahead with a flat top, that I needed to focus on the neck. 95% of the playability of your guitar is in how well you do with the neck, so I've decided to go with a flat top. That being said, since I'm going to do a flat top, there won't be much angle between the neck and the guitar. It'll be pretty much a 90 degree or close to a 90 degree angle between the neck and the guitar, and because of that, I want the heel end of the guitar to be flat. My form that I made has a slight radius to it. My block is flat, so what I decided to do is just put a couple shims in here. And this shim is approximately the same width as my heel block. We have another smaller one here to fill in that gap, so that when I glue up my block, I have something to clamp against to get a firm surface to adhere that block. By, I don't know if I get that up here, it kind of makes a flat surface here on on the heel end of the guitar, and that block will go right on there. Well, when I did that, I guess one of the another lucky benefits was that it brought this gap together that was previously open. I don't really need that together, but it's kind of a lucky byproduct of what I decided to do in regards to the top. So that's what I intend on doing. So I'll get everything set up here to do the glue up. Okay, I'm ready to glue up the heel block. I have a center line marked on the block, and then 90-degree lines marked where each side of the block meets the sides, but I just wanted to confirm I have it square. I have the guitar moved around so I can get the tail block glued up. That is square. And earlier I needed this box to lean this against so it doesn't fall over. Glue is dried, so now I'll take the guitar sides out of the form. Take that tape off of there. There's the other end of that. That looks like it glued up well. That gap's much closer than what it was. That end looks pretty good. There we go. Looks pretty good. So that glue's still somewhat soft. I'll get in there and scrape out the excess glue. Got a few scorch marks that I need to still sand out of there, but I'll clean up these glue joints and I'll lightly clamp that back in the form again and let it sit overnight to let the glue get thoroughly dry. But essentially that's it. For woodworking plans, tips, and techniques, visit randallprice.com.